All right, Tyler, just for starters, how's your offseason been so far?
How much time do we have? Um, I don't know where to start. I definitely don't know where to stop. Um, it's honestly kind of flown by. To think that, I mean, I don't know, it's probably been 2 months, I guess, since the season ended. Yeah, it's every year I feel like the off season it basically, I don't know, it didn't feel like one this year. I don't know what to tell you.
And I understand you just had a birthday, so happy belated birthday as well.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, birthdays don't feel like birthdays either. That's like, I don't know. I'm gonna hate the next one. 30s, yeah. I'm just gonna turn my phone off and go to an island, disappear or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts in general on racing again at Bowman Gray, and has it sunk in yet as that date draws closer?
You know, for me it's interesting. I mean it's been a while since I've been up there. Back when I was younger, before kids, before, a girlfriend, now wife, I feel like when I had I guess more free time, right? I get out and explore and go see things, do more of this, just go see what North Carolina and the short track racing is like around here. I went up to Bowman Gray a number of times, and always was very, very entertained, but I never got to race there. So my experience is next to nothing when it comes to the Clash.
How do you think Bowman Gray will compare to the LA Coliseum Clash?
Man, I don't I feel I don't know how to put this. I feel like it's going to be very similar, racing wise. There's less room for error there. When people get hit and go for a spin, I definitely think we'll see some more cars in the fence. The racing group itself is a lot more narrow. Granted, the track is more of a. I mean, it's not a circle, right? But the corners are wider, the straightaways are shorter. So it's going to look a little bit different. But yeah, man, thinking about how narrow it is, um, it's going to be tricky. I definitely feel that way. The shape of the wall in a few spots, if you're not paying attention, it's going to suck you in turn three in particular. I feel like that's going to be an easy one in traffic to misjudge and hit the wall there. So there'll be some things to figure out, and then just trying to understand, what we've seen obviously a lot of different things race at Bowman Gray, but what is the optimal line going to be for an X gen car? Is it going to be wrapping the concrete, or is it going to be a diamond? Those things, we'll find out when we get there.
And you mentioned you've been to Bowman Gray a couple times as a fan. Is there one memory, one experience that stands out in your mind?
Um, I feel like I've enjoyed watching the races, but yeah, just the environment, I guess, is always what sticks with me. How rowdy it can get, the atmosphere. Every time I went is what sticks with me is just something very different from many places that we race at.
I hear you. And obviously, a lot of renovations have happened to the Madhouse over the past couple of months. How do you feel seeing the guardrails taken down, a part of the allure of this place, the old school feel of it, be replaced with safer barriers and safety fencing?
Yeah, it's tough, right? I remember that was one thing. I get it. I know it's hard to, some to some degree, right? Like the older I get this completely. You don't want some things to change that have always been one way or another, whether it's, your favorite place in your hometown or whatever it might be. But yeah, I remember going there and watching racing and thinking, holy cow, how has the car not gone through these guardrails at any point? So, yeah, we needed, for us to go there. It was necessary to race at Bowman Gray, but honestly, I'll probably get dinged for it. But I mean, I couldn't believe no one had gone through the guardrail up until this point, to be honest.
Right. I'm kind of in the same vein where it was cool that we had a place that old school, but obviously safety is paramount for drivers and fans alike. Does
Honestly,
Bowman? Sorry, go
it's not
ahead.
even really about the drivers, right? It's about the fans. Yeah, I don't want to go flying over a guardrail, but that's not what I was thinking about when I would go there and see it. I'm just thinking, man, what happens if a car goes over the guardrail and gets into the stands or hit. I know it's concrete, right? But just I don't know.
Right. Does Bowman Gray compare to anywhere that you have raced before?
You broke up. Sorry.
Does you got me now?
Mhm.
Does Bowman Gray compare to anywhere that you have raced before?
Not very. I mean, it's not one to one. There's no like mirror comparison. I'd say just based on the time in this car, uh, the next gen car, right? I feel like the Clash itself is a different shape. The size of the track, I feel like is pretty similar. It might even be exactly the same, the size, the length of the track, but obviously with the corners being a little bit wider, it is different, but that's probably the closest thing. Um, I feel like the grip level will be very similar to what we had at the Clash, honestly.
And that's a perfect segue into my last question. Would you want the class to stay at Bowman Gray?
I said the I should have said the Coliseum. I said the Clash. My bad.
No, you're good.
Do I want the Clash to stay at Bowman Gray? I mean, we haven't even been there yet. Honestly, it could be the racing could be fantastic. The atmosphere could be, iconic. Me, it's hard for me to say. Like I always enjoyed watching the Clash when it was in Daytona. Um, my bias, if you will, probably come out here when I got to do the Clash of Daytona on the road course. Something about racing under the lights through the bus stop and all that stuff was really, really fun. I know that the chicane on the front stretch wasn't really favored by some, but I feel like the nature of the next gen car and just the more drag that it has, I feel like these cars are more than heavy duty enough to be able to run like the true Rolex style track layout. So for me, I don't know. There was just something about being able to race at Daytona under the lights on the road course that was really, really cool. But granted, every time we get to this time of year and the Rolex is on and the lead up, the roar, I always love watching that race, love watching just everything around that event too. So that's what comes to mind for me. Um, Granted, I think if it fell in a good place that wasn't gonna, I guess, hurt getting ready for Daytona. I think it would be really fun to take the Clash. It's an exhibition race, right? It'd be fun to take the Clash somewhere we've never been before. Um, Steve and Denny may not like me for saying it, but it'd be fun to go over to Europe, go somewhere we haven't been in a long time or been ever. And bring NASCAR to a new fan base. I think that'd be fun too.
All right. Well, Tyler, I thank you for your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day and best of luck at the Clash and the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter.
Of course.